What is up guys, Osman Fong here. Today's project we're going to add an outlet behind this wall using this light switch. Let's come on in and I'll show you what you need. So for this project we're going to use different types of tools. First we have some main characters here, which is our outlet. This is the brand I used today. We can get this in Home Depot, the Livingston Plus temper resistant outlet. And I'll also pair it with the unbreakable wall plate, and also I'll be using this flush mounted electrical box. When you drill this inward, this will actually push back and it will clamp the drywall together. Also I'll be using this drywall cutter and also a wire cutter, voltage tester, stuck finder, drill because I want it to be faster. If you don't have a drill, you can just use screwdrivers, so they're the same thing. You're going to need at least a 14-2 indoor wire. You can get this from Home Depot also. What you expect from the cable is you'll have 3 conductors like this. Also you'll be using a pencil, gloves also to protect myself. Also some lights. You're gonna need these lights because when you shut off the power, there is no light in the house. Before you start, make sure you turn off the light switch like this, and also the main switch in your breaker. Okay, make sure you find the right one. I got myself written here, second floor master power. So it's 17, and at the bottom one here, that would be my 17. Now we can officially start. First you want to check out which wire is behind the switch. So let's take it out. Make sure you're not losing these screws. There are 2 screws right here, so we're gonna take that out also. And now we have 3 cables here. We have this black cable going through the switch to another solid cable, and then this black is our main power. And we have our white cable, that is our neutral, and we have our ground cable here. So now I'm actually going to turn on the power. What I'm going to do is I'll be using this tool to find which of this black cable is not controlled by the switch. If I use the cable that is controlled by the switch will also control the outlet that we're putting in. So we don't want to do that. We want to use the cable that is not controlled by the switch. So now we have our power back on. We're going to test which of the black cable still have power while the light is off. So let me show you again. If I turn this, I'll get light. Turn it off, I don't have light. So I need the one cable here that has power. So as you can see, when I put my tester on the bottom one, that is telling me it has power. If I put it on the top and it's not changing color, that means this one has no power right now. If I turn the light on, the power goes through the top cable, it has power. It will both have power. Turn the light off, the top one doesn't have power. The bottom one is what we need to use. Let's turn the power back off. So now it is a good time to prepare our wire. We are going to run the cable from up here down to here on the back side. So we're going to run a cable a little bit more than what we need. So I'll run from here to here and halfway up. So I have the cable I need, and I'll just use the wire cutter and cut it. And now I have the cable I need. And now I'm going to strip the wire to have all 3 conductors on this side. This will be trash. Strip the jacket off. And go. Let me do that again with the white. Okay, and the ground, it is hidden, but we already have the ground available. And now we're going to cut the hole open on the drywall. Now we are on the back side of the drywall. Our switch is right above here, so we're going to add our outlet right about here. Usually there's no obstacles from the top to the bottom inside the drywall, but to be sure, I'll use a stud finder to make sure there's nothing in between the switch and my outlet. Alright, it is all good. How to measure where to put your outlet? I usually like to keep it a little bit more this way. I'm gonna use my plate for measurement. I put my plate in the very corner here, and I'll actually want my box starting from this point. I'm also going to draw like a cross sign using the plate. And that tells me the plate I finished should go something like this. Then you want to get your electrical box, face it to the wall. As you can see here, we don't just have the box, we also have some like ears. We want to keep this outside, so when we do our cut along here, on the side it is fine. You just cut, all the way on the side. But on the top and the bottom, I'll just have it cut through here. So this is our starting point, the cross we drew, and I'll put the dot here, the line go up here, and draw the line. Okay, like this. And now we have our rough shape, and I'll just finish it off with drawing a little bit more like this. And now we can actually cut this out. Get your drywall saw and push, find your corner. Don't worry, you can actually cut a little bit more. You're gonna twist like this, and you're pretty much in, and you just keep going and cut. So we have our first line. Don't worry if you cut it too much or too big, because your plate is going to cover your mistakes or the extra area that you cut open. But just make sure it is big enough so your box can fit in. So now we can put our box to make sure it actually fit in. So keep your ears closed like this on both sides. Put your box in, and voila! It fits perfectly. Take it out. So now we're actually going to run the cable going this one, go in like this and run it down and have this facing upward. So usually what I like to do is I'll examine the box. Usually, there is like no holes to let your cable go through. So what I like to do is to drill a hole. Make sure you keep your cable straight because this is going straight down. So now we have this ready. We can finish up this part right now. So as you might remember, we have our top cable and we have the bottom cable, and the bottom always have the power. So we have 3 cables and we have these 3 connections. We are going to just put them together. I always like to do the harder one, which is the shorter one right here. So I will do the shorter one first. Use the nuts that is provided. Make sure you line them up properly. And when you put this back on, twist it on. Make sure it can get tight. And for this one, instead of putting it in the nut, I can actually share the node here. So now the power can be taken from this node, the white one we get share here, and the ground we got all 3 nodes that is connected now. So we can put this back. Push the cable back. Make sure the connection is still intact. So let's now work on the bottom side. So continue here, we're going to splice the cable. Alright, we have 3 cables. I'm actually going to put it in on this outlet, and we are going to check if we actually get the power from the switch after we turn on the breaker. So you look at this outlet. There are 3 colors. Which cable should we use on each one? So this gold one, we're gonna use the black color. The silver one, we're gonna use the white cable. And the ground right here is gonna be our ground cable, this one. So let's put it on. An awesome thing about this plug is you can actually plug straight in the cable. So let's go ahead and plug in our black cable right here. So now this is in, as well as our white cable. Okay, now it is all in. We're going to turn on the power and check if the direction of this is right and if it is actually work. I like to use this tool right here. This actually tells you if the cabling is correct or it needs to be do some adjustment on it. So I will plug this in and I will go ahead and turn on the power. We are getting the correct wiring, so we are good to go, and put it back into this hole. If you get any of the hot and ground reverse or hot and neutral reverse, just reverse the cable and you should be good to go. If you have any open ground, it is usually fine if you have an old house, but on new house you usually have a grounding. Let's go ahead and turn back off the power. Alright, so now unplug this guy, unplug the cable. We're gonna straighten the cable. Alright. We're gonna grab our box. I'm going to punch a hole here so the cable is actually coming through. I like to go it the other way. I don't know if it is okay, but I just do it the other way so the cable is more flexible on the inside of the wall. Put the cable through the hole. And now plug your electrical box in. Now drill these screws inward so it is tight to the drywall. Right, now the box is tight. And now we can put our outlet back to connect it. We have too much cable here, so what you want to do is just push excessive cable through the hole because you have a lot of space inside the wall. Just keep pushing. It will do a loop inside the wall. It is totally fine. You have your screws going to this hole. Same thing on the bottom side. Alright, last step is to put in our plate. There you go. I will do one last test. Make sure it is right. Plug it in. Let's turn on the power. So that is pretty much it. It is working. Correct wiring. Make sure you clear up the area and clean up your mess. And that is pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have anything you would do differently, make sure to comment down below. And if you have any question, ask me in the comment section. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button. This will help me tremendously. And if you want to see more stuff like this, make sure to comment down below on what you want to see next. I'll try to make it happen. Subscribe if you haven't done so. And I will see you in the next episode. Shh.